1190 AM. This is the Saturday Action Rally National Action Network, also coming to you on www.nationalactionnetwork.net. I'd like you to get on your feet right now for the president and founder of the National Action Network, the Reverend Dr. Al Sharpton.
No justice! No justice! No justice! No justice! What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? When do we want it? When do we want it? When do we want it? Hug the person next to you, tell him you love him.
Never give up and never give in. For change will come. Keep faith down within. Troubles and trials won't last always. With God on our side, nothing but brighter days. My sister, just hold on. My brother, be strong. A better day is coming, and it won't be too long. For change will come. Change will come. Change will come. Starting with you. Yeah. Oh, never give up and never give in. For change will come. Just keep faith down within. Troubles and trials won't last always. With God on our side, nothing but bright days. My sister, hold on. My brother, be strong. For a better day is coming, and it won't be too long. For change will come. Change will come. Change will come. Starting with you. Yeah, yeah.
Brother Pavon Neal, our musical director, give him a big hand. Give him a big hand. Certainly we're happy to be with you another Saturday morning for our Saturday Action Rally, and for you that are here live at the House of Justice, 106 West 145th Street in the Village of Harlem, and for you that are listening live on 1190 WLIB AM in New York. We are happy to be with you another Saturday morning where the action is. Give a hand to our presider, Attorney Michael Hardy. Certainly in his absence, our Northeast Regional Director, Minister Kirsten John Ford. Let's also welcome, we're very happy to have had our head of Community Board 10, who is a state senate candidate, but it is fairly widely believed he will be next state senator in Harlem, a longtime member of Maine, Brian Benjamin. And we welcome and identify with those that have come from being caught up in this whole trauma with Spirit Airlines. And we heard their story when I saw it on the news, and then Kevin McCall called us, our crisis manager. One of the things that we see all over the country is a litany of cases of disregard and disrespect, sometimes abusive, for our passengers who are customers. I travel a lot, and it seems like sometimes they forget we are paying our money. They're not giving and doing us a favor. And they act as though they're doing you a favor to spend your money with them. First of all, they would not have a job if they didn't have customers. So I think that the fact that we keep seeing these cases we must stand with them because it's all of us. Everybody could be subjected to what they were subjected to in Miami. I know how it is to, they cancel a flight and act like, well, you just, get used to it, get over it. Yeah, we're going to get over it. We're going to correct it. And we're not going to let it go. Let them know we're with them. Give them a hand. And what I told Kevin, what I go through, we have an office in Miami. I go through Miami Airport a lot. And you want to get trapped anywhere but Miami Airport. Because you got all kind of stuff coming through Miami. You don't know what's going on between the immigration agents and all of that colliding. To get caught up in there 9 hours is more than a notion. And then they're going to put you on TV like you doing some wilding. The wilding was the cancellation. The wilding was in the office. We reacting to the wilding, so give him another hand. I want them to know that Minister McCall has briefed us and we're supporting them. And if we got to go get Spirit Airlines to get the Spirit, I got the Spirit. I got the marching spirit, the boycotting spirit, the raising sand spirit. So I'll bring some spirit to spirit if y'all need me to do that.
Go ahead, man.
Let me say, and I want to get into a lot this morning. First of all, I'm happy to see so many of you have come to the network itself for the broadcast, even though it is raining and they predicting all this rain. Some of y'all don't feel y'all gonna melt or mess up your hair. There's a hair thing with some of y'all. But I want to wish every mother a happy Mother's Day on tomorrow. Tomorrow morning on Politics Nation, my MSNBC show, I'll be live at 8 o'clock. And one of the things I'm going to raise on the show is the mothers that they group of activists are getting and bringing out of jail for Mother's Day. And we ought to salute them and work with them. And the mothers that are going through Mother's Day without their children. Every Mother's Day that you celebrate, remember people like the mothers who will not have a full and wholesome day because their children have been taken from them by gun violence or police violence. And we stand with Gwen Carter, mother of Eric Garner, who's with us this morning. So I want everybody to watch Politics Nation with Al Sharpton in the morning, 8 a.m. on MSNBC. Also on Monday night, we honor Kathy. Kathy's birthday is today. And we honor her at Canaan Baptist Church, which is at 132 West 116th Street, 7 o'clock. And Hezekiah Walker and James Hall and all of us will be there. And she gives her money every year for a scholarship fund. It's all for the scholarship fund. We want everybody to support her on Monday night. And I always say, it doesn't matter what happens in our lives, she's been a tremendous mother and a tremendous asset to our community. And we should come out. 7 o'clock on Monday night. 7 o'clock on Monday night. And I also want to reiterate that we are very, very determined to follow up with the principles that we laid out in our convention. I went to Tulsa, Oklahoma this week. One of the things that we do at NAM is we do not get involved in a fight and then lead the fight. We have too much drive-by activism. They with you when it first happened and the media's all over it, and then they go on to the next kind of situation. I don't believe in that. I believe that if you're going to engage people and you're going to work with their quest for justice, you stay there until you get it resolved one way or another. Many of us saw last September a young man, his car broke down, and his name was Terrence Crutcher. Police came, and as he stood there waiting for help, hands up, he was shot by an officer, and this officer was indicted, charged with manslaughter, named Betsy Shelby. And I went out, led the march after the shooting last September. I promised the family that I'd be there when they need us, as I worked with the Garner family and so many families. And they, his twin sister, Dr. Tiffany Crutcher, was at our convention 2 weeks ago for every day. And she said the trial is starting next week, and we just want to make sure that the community comes out and sits in the courtroom, because the police officer have all these police out castigating and denigrating my brother. And she said we're going to have a prayer rally to see if we can get the people up and excited to come, because they have not been rallying lately. And it'd be good if you could send a message. I said, well, it'd be better if I bring the message. And I went out on Wednesday night, and we had a big rally, packed rally, and they doubled the numbers of people that come to the court Thursday and Friday. Let me tell you something. One of the things that the Terrence Crutcher case reminds me of is the Eric Garner case, where you have both of them with their hands up unarmed, and you have nobody held accountable. Now, they did get an indictment. We didn't get that with Eric Garner. But we have got to stop the normalization of what does not make sense. For an unarmed man with his hands up to be killed by a policeman does not make sense. And they go through all of this of trying to blame the victim. Well, we found drugs in his system. She didn't have x-ray vision before she shot him. And since when is drugs in your system means you sentenced to death? You got all kind of folk, got all kind of stuff in their system. You don't kill them. While they engaged in a life-extenuating circumstance where it was your life, officer, or theirs, anything short of that does not justify shooting to kill. All these other officers was at the scene. None of them felt their life was threatened. There was one officer in a helicopter flying over. He said that looked like one bad dude. He didn't say shoot to kill. So we've got to follow up these cases and stay on them. And they went crazy when we announced I was coming. Governor talking about we might have riots and Sharpton's coming. We may have the National Guard. I said, first of all, we came out here and led hundreds in a march. Not one window broke, not one brick thrown. We don't engage in violence. But what they're trying to do, you've got to look at the bigger picture. If they can give the image that we are reckless and violent, then the jury can feel that Terrence Crutcher was reckless and violent, and therefore they had to kill him. See, a lot of us say everything personal. It's a bigger picture. If they can make us act like hoodlums, then they say that's how Eric Garner was acting. And we had no choice but to choke him. So don't you get so caught up in being defensive that you miss the point. They may hit you, but you wasn't the target. Which brings me right into today. We are starting today a national drive that we are circulating all over this country, calling for the Congress to pass the Criminal Justice Reform Bill now. There was a bill proposed with bipartisan support that deals with the inequality in the criminal justice system. One of the reasons that it has not received the kind of grassroots push that it should is we had an Attorney General, first in Eric Holder, and secondly in Loretta Lynch, that began dealing with these issues. And we had a president that said we must deal with the advice of the Attorney Generals that we do not give maximum sentences to low-level, non-violent drug offenses. If you remember when President Obama did my television show in November of last year, he said, I said to him, you have commuted more sentences than any president in memory. He said, no, the last 11 presidents combined, I commuted more. You see people here that through the work of Attorney Hardy got commuted sentences. This week, the new Attorney General, Jeff Sessions, said that's over and has instructed prosecutors to go for the maximum sentencing in these crimes, in these drug crimes. And he has stopped all move toward police reform. We cannot sit by and allow Sessions to turn the clock back on police reform and mass incarceration and commutation of sentences for nonviolent drug offenders. The way to do that is to pass the act, to pass the Criminal Justice Reform Act. What does that mean? That means that we must go and email, write, and visit all of the members of Congress, including the Republican members. Don't go talk, don't preach to the choir. And tell them that we must pass this act. Why are some Republicans supporting this act? The reason that they're supporting it is that they're saying we can't afford it anymore. We're saying it's unjust. I don't care what side of the argument you're in or on, let's get it passed. Because if you pass the law, Sessions has to obey the law. Now when Eric Holder made this, it was policy. Attorney General talking to his assistant U.S. attorneys all over the country. Loretta Lynch continued, it was policy. It was not law. That's why he could change policy. If we make it law, he can't change it. Well, why is that important right now? You got people going to jail for selling a vial of crack, mandatory sentencing. Yet the guy that was the distributor dealing in the loose cocaine, no mandatory sentencing. So the guy at the end of the drug trade, he goes to jail 20, 30, 40 years. And the guy that's distributing gets a good lawyer and gets parole or acquitted. There is something systematically wrong about that, and it is disproportionately impacting blacks and Latinos. And for Sessions to bring that back is absolutely a biased affront on people in this country. Now, watch this. Sessions said, well, the reason we have to do it is the murder rate has gone up. First of all, what are you talking about? They ain't talking about commuting sentences of murderers. They're talking about non-violent drug offenders, low level. Somebody need to define what nonviolent. Nonviolent murder don't come nowhere near that. Second of all, murder is going down in many major cities. But why is murder even in the discussion? Other than you want to mislead people in the feeling that we letting out these dangerous, these absolutely beastly people. That is not what we're talking about. That is not what President Obama was talking about. That is not what Eric Holder and Loretta Lynch did. They said for low-level drug offenders that they should not be doing decades in jail. It costs too much and they can't be reformed. I was in many of the meetings civil rights leaders had. I was in all of them with the president and the attorney general pushing for this for many years. Why? Because many of those that did it in our communities made a mistake. They were wrong. We're not justifying it. But a mistake should not cost you the rest of your life. But look at the pattern here now. We've gone from immediately after Trump got in. First thing is they went back to saying, oh, we're going to use privatized jails. Privatized jails. Turning incarceration into a business. Yellow. Then they went, we're going to stop police reforms. In fact, Sessions tried to delay the consent decree in Baltimore. Now he's going back on mass incarceration in terms of the commutation of sentences. There is a pattern here. He withdrew being a plaintiff in Texas on voting rights. I told y'all that everything is at stake. People run around talking about voting don't matter. If you were sitting up in a federal jail doing 25 years of life for a joint, it matters to you that Trump is president and Sessions is attorney general. All you elitist, political, know-it-alls, go tell somebody doing 30 years for nothing that it don't matter. Sit up writing books and talking big scholarly talk, but people on the ground, mothers on Mother's Day, they got to get up 3 in the morning and get a bus to see a child. It matters to them. And I'm sick of you pseudo-intellectuals that try to rationalize how we got to live every day. Well, you know, I don't deal with all those little things. I don't deal with sentencing. I don't deal with police matters. I don't deal with people jammed at the airport. I analyze Aristotle, Plato, and we deal with dialectical debate. Will you dialectical debate and everybody else means nothing to people that need real solutions and answers every day. That's why Trump president now is that y'all so smart that you're stupid. What do you mean by that, Red Mouth? They got all over black radio, black Twitter, social media, all that. President Obama ain't done nothing for black folks, okay? That what they said? All right, now, if Obama didn't do nothing for black folk, then what is Trump and Sessions undoing? You can't undo nothing. They keep saying we're going to undo what Obama did. Well, you run around talking about he didn't do nothing. So they must know he did something. And either know you are too stupid, that's the term I use. Hardy will tell me later that I shouldn't talk like that. But I got the mic right now, so you just have to suck it in and take it. I said stupid. And that's what I meant. Stupid, stupid, stupid. You are either too stupid to see what was done, or you are a willing tool of the opposition to beat folk down so they become so discouraged and dismayed that they won't stand up and use everything at their disposal for their interests. One or the other. You can't say an Affordable Care Act that gave 23 million people health coverage was nothing. You can't say commuting people from long-term jail sentences that they were doing for minor nonviolent crime. You can't say that's nothing. You can't say changing policing and coming out with recommendations that was adopted all over this country was nothing. You can't say moves on climate change was nothing. You can't say when he went in office we were losing 800,000 jobs a month, and when he left we were gaining more than 200,000 a month. That ain't nothing. What is nothing is you talking loud and saying nothing. So we must deal with demonstration and legislation. And the legislation is the Criminal Justice Reform Act. This is not a bill that got it right, it's right there right now. So our national organizers are working along with our team here, Stephen Marshall and Sister Jefferson, to put some of the volunteers out today and make sure that we drive people to our website so they can go to their Congress people and tell them that they must vote yes on this Criminal Justice Reform Act. That's one of the follow-ups. 3 of the big follow-ups was criminal justice, health care, and dealing with these pension funds and contracts. And we're going to deal with these contracts and the pension funds. We've been in meetings already on that, working with Impact and Reverend Green and them. But we're going to focus on this Criminal Justice Reform Act right now because of session. Let me tell you something. They also in this voting area. The other thing that happened this week is that President Trump announced a election integrity commission. That's what he calls it. Now the idea of the election integrity commission is that he's still claiming that 5 to 7 million illegal folk voted and fraudulent votes. Somebody said they must have voted for him, but I decided. Now, he put as the co-chair of it a guy named Chris Carbage, or Chris Carbage, who himself has been successfully sued 4 times for voter suppression. The idea of this commission is they will act as though that they are studying fraudulent voting so they can come back saying, yes, we studied it, therefore we need voter ID in the early voting. No Sunday go to the poll. It is to undergird their voter suppression. Why do they want to undergird their voting suppression? Because if they can keep the Congress in the midterm elections next year, if they can keep the city councils and the county commissioners and the mayors that are up this year, then they keep the policies going backward. And they hire them some militants to go out there and tell you vote no matter. Nobody spent billions of dollars on campaigning if it didn't matter. That's right. Well, it don't matter. They got it rigged anyway. Then why they spending all that money? Why they got all these commercials? Why you got Trump tweeting all night? If it don't matter, if it's already done, then why they going through all of that? they need you to put enough doubt in people's mind that they lose because of their doubt. Read the Bible. Peter saw Jesus on the water. Said, Master, call for me to come. When he came, walking on the water, got out the boat. Some of y'all heard Reverend Bishop Martin preach this at our convention. To perform a miracle in your life, first thing you got to do is get out the boat. Y'all want a different circumstance staying in the same boat. You in the same mess, same crowd, same friends, and you want Jesus to have you be a miracle when you're hanging around nothing. You need to get out the boat. I tell people all the time, watch who you surround yourself with. I posted on my Instagram, Oprah was talking about dealing with people with positive energy and not having negative energy around you. Don't you saturate yourself in things that are not going to work towards your interests and your mentality. That's why I tell people all the time, I only been in the hospital one time when a man stabbed me marching out of Pittsburgh. I don't like hanging around sick folk because I'm trying to be well. You hang around sick folk, y'all be laying around all day talking about how my knee bothered me. Yeah, my back. Don't call me. You don't feel good, don't tell me. Because some of y'all just embrace not feeling good. Oh, I feel something in my neck. But now that you said my hip bothered me, no. Ain't nothing bothering me, and don't tell me if it's bothering you. If you broke, don't hang out with broke folk. Because all y'all can discuss is what y'all ain't got. Hang out with somebody got something. I was growing up, I hung out James Brown, Michael Jackson. I ain't had any kind of money, but I rolled with them like I did. Changed the way I thought. Maybe they drop a band or something and let me keep it. Ain't no use me hanging out with somebody doing bad as me. Get out the boat. You gonna go get relationship advice from somebody who ain't never had a good relationship. Well, Sally, what you think? Well, let me tell you what Roger did to me. Don't hear that. And then James did this. Don't believe that. And then Roscoe did this. And then watch out for what Henry did. Wait a minute, you done been through 4 of them? This is the end of this conversation. Because you ain't got no advice to give me if your own mess is that messed up. You ain't but 30 years old and went through 4 Negroes, something wrong. I was on a plane one night. The lady was telling me, Red Mal, she come up and sat down in the seat next to me, was empty. Red Mal, I need your advice. Because I'm going through a thing. I know you're in civil rights, but I'm going through a thing. You're a minister. You might be able to advise me on what to do about my personal life. I said, what's your problem? She said, well, you know, I just keep falling in and out of love. I've been in love 11 times, and I just can't make it work. I said, well, how old are you? She said, I'm 24. I said, well, I don't know if you need to sit there long. You might fall in love with me before we land. Quick. This is a long flight, baby. You need to go back to your seat. Get out the boat. So the first thing Peter had to do was get out the boat where he was. What got him out the boat was faith. And he began walking on the water. Yes. When he unfeasible, unthinkable, what was miraculous. Because his eyes was not on those doubters, his eyes was on Jesus. Then he got caught up. Here go another temptation. You get caught up on signifying to those that didn't believe you. You out the boat. Peter started signifying because the other disciples that mocked him say, what are you talking about? Jesus called him out on the water. Now he like, look at me, I'm walking. That's what some of y'all leave the old crowd, but you want to show the old crowd that you're doing better than them. Leave them back there. You ain't got to prove nothing to nobody but yourself. You make a couple of dollars, change your mind, change your situation, get you a new car. You got to ride by your old friend, show them you got a new car, and they on the subway. Who are you impressing? Because your mind is still caught up on the boat. So he starts signifying the disciples, looking back, get his eyes off Jesus, and that's when he sunk. Well, are you talking about that? I'm talking about when they get your mind that nothing you do is going to work. That was my point. Don't vote, don't march, don't rally. It ain't going to matter no way. You're locked in a boat. You got to break out of that and break out of it with faith. Lord, I know you say it don't matter and it's impossible, but with God, all things are possible. If Rosa Parks, one black woman, could take her seat and not move and break the Montgomery, Alabama bus company, we sure can take care of Spirit Airlines disrespecting us in Miami in the 21st century. You don't know who we are. We've already done what we got to do. We just got to do it again. Quit telling folk what they can't do. Remind them of what we've already done. Well, right now, I don't know if we can beat these people. We already beat them. We elected by Obama and re-elected them. Let's do it again. Don't let one election break your spirit and break your faith. Get out the boat and walk. I was listening to my state senator here as he was breaking down about naming Harlem. They want to make NoHo and Harlem and Soho, whatever they want to call it. Well, one of the reasons they want to do that is as they change, this is always about money. Because then they can zone it. Then they can get a breakdown in how the planning boards operate. And what you were calling gentrification, they will have you as intruders in your own community. So I'm going to Soho for a drink, and then I'll go up to Harlem, up to NoHo for dinner. So I get on my app and get Uber so we can go from Soho to NoHo. That's what they're doing. So it's no longer Harlem, because Harlem is too instilled in the mind of the world. When you think of Harlem, you think of the Harlem Renaissance, Langston Hughes and County Color. When you think of Harlem, you think of the Apollo, James Brown, Jackie Wilson. When you think of Harlem, you think of LaShaw's bookstore and Malcolm X and Marcus Garvey, Harry Belafonte, all of that. When you think of Harlem, you think of Bishop Childs and Adam Clayton Powell and Bishop Brody. When you think of NoHo, what is that? history to that? Where's the tradition of that? If they can uproot you and rename you, you have no identity and no entitlement to nothing. Wonder why everybody in the world go back to their roots but us. And we sit by and quietly let them uproot us so they can marginalize us. I was telling the guy the other day in Tulsa, I started 12 years old. Y'all heard Jesse Jackson tell the story at the convention again, that he and Reverend Jones appointed me youth director when I was 13. I joined the movement when I was 12. I've been in the movement half a century. On post 49 years. Do the math. From 12 to now, I'm 62. I know I don't look at young lady, but I saw her, I said, years? Yeah, well, you know. Some of us just, you know, cool like that. But they will try, if you read profiles, to reduce 50 years of activism to one or two situations they want to raise. Well, you know, all the stuff, Howard Beach, Burnout Gas, all the way to Trayvon, we did. Yeah, but what about Broadway? Well, let me ask you something. Tell me anybody do something 50 years and you don't disagree with one thing. You 20 years old and done some stuff that we disagree with. But it is always this trying to nitpick so you can re-debate stuff that I stood for and still stand for and believe. Because I'm not going to have them uproot me. Precious Sutton and Jesse Jackson and Adam Clayton Powell, Bishop Washington and Mahalia Jackson, Shirley Chisholm, all of them invested in me as since I was a child. That's why no matter what controversy they brought up, they could destabilize me. Well, I'm using that as an example. That is why you can't let them rob you of the history of your community. Because if they take away the history, then your community just becomes something on a chopping block that they can put and arrange anywhere they want. That's why they got all these landmarks downtown. Well, how come you gonna try to remove our landmarks uptown? We ain't got no landmark in Soha. I was asking Attorney Hardy and Ashley last night, well then, where does it begin and end? Well, 145th up is NOHA. So I guess the House of Justice will decide that the back of the house is NOHA and we in Harlem. What kind of nonsense is that? We got unemployed, we got the worst conditions in schools, all as one community. Don't divide us up so you can play one against the other. It started with the cohabitation of schools. You put charter schools on one side of the building, public schools on the other. The charter schools got computers and carpet. Public schools got nothing. They play in this cohabitation politics in our community. We're not going for it. Know your roots. Celebrate it. If you have not come from nothing, you expect nothing. Biggest trick they play on our young people is to disconnect them from their youth and from their roots. What made you is you were not born full grown. What made you is what developed you till you got where you are. I tell parents that all the time. Don't raise your kids against what they grew up in. Well, you know, he outgrew that, but he grew up in it. Because if you let them disrespect what they grew up in, they're going to disrespect you next. Because they don't need what grew them, they don't need you. When you look at, I looked at every day, you know, I took a lot of grief from some folk because I worked too close with President Obama. Some of your pseudo-intellectuals, Sharpton's too close to President Obama. And now every day, people talking about, I wish Obama was back. He ain't been gone 110 days. But Trump has wore out folk. I mean, I try to not preach about Trump every week, but you just can't help it. Now, here's a man that fired the FBI director, didn't have the courtesy of calling the man or having a meeting with the man. The man is speaking in front of FBI agents 3,000 miles away in California, and he sees on the news he's fired. So not only are you going to fire him, you're going to humiliate him, and you're going to embarrass him. Now, why you firing Trump? Well, I don't like how he treated Hillary. So now you are the defender of crooked Hillary? I mean, look at all the names you called her. She was sitting up one night debating and you were all over her. Y'all remember that? He was stalking all over her. Back and forward, all of that. But then that wasn't, he won't leave good enough alone. They started attacking him for that. So then he comes out, great revelation, and says, I had dinner with him. Oh? And he told me at dinner that I was not under investigation. Well, how'd that happen? Watch the interview Trump did with Lester Hall. I want y'all to get this in the barbershop, y'all listening already. He said, I asked him whether I was under investigation. And he said no. And he repeated it in 2 conversations after. Now, wait a minute. Are you therefore telling us that you questioned an ongoing investigation by the FBI director? They run around. He said later that, be careful what you say because we may have some tapes. You don't need them tapes. He already said on tapes he asked about the investigation. So let me get this right. Somebody tell me, Reverend Al, they're investigating you and your businesses. And I call the prosecutor and say, let's go to dinner. And ask him about it. That is not only inappropriate, it is legally questionable. Then he suggests tapes. He might have taped some of it. So all of you reporters that said I was being smart and arrogant when Trump called me and I said I would not meet with him unless I could bring other civil rights leaders. And some of them said, well, y'all have known each other. Y'all can talk one-on-one. And it would have been taped one-on-one. Now, I doubt if he wanted to put out a tape of what I would say to him one-on-one. But now everybody that going in there better watch what they do. We are looking at the worst situation I've ever seen. When you've got a president that will say that I absolutely question an ongoing investigation by the investigator. Now, I got questions for Comey too. Because Comey refused to play basketball when President Obama said it would look bad. Well, then why did you go to dinner with Trump? Or did y'all think it wouldn't get out? Well, you ought to know anything you do with Trump will get out. If he met with me and civil rights leaders, it'd be a question of who tweeted first, me or him. Because I know it's going to get out, so I'm going to tweet my side before he get his tweet out. We're going to have a Twitter wars. In fact, I tell him in the middle of the meeting, hold on a minute, let me go to the bathroom. I'll tweet from the bathroom. I know where the bathroom is in the White House. I've been there enough. I'm being somewhat humorous, but the gravity of it is that you're talking about whether or not another nation, adversarial to this nation, manipulated the elections that has put a conservative on the Supreme Court, that has locked up people now for inordinate sentences. This would be funny if it wasn't so serious, because putting in this regime is rolling back all that we fought for. And we've got the right to know how they got in. I don't believe in hacking. And they just knocked out half of Europe, Ukraine, and Russia hacking. Just like you don't believe in climate change. And you freezing at night in the middle of May. I don't believe in climate change, but turn the heat up. It was warm in the winter and less than 50 degrees in May. That ain't you getting hot flashes because you're old. That's climate change. I know some of y'all got body change. Just get up in the morning, start sweating, that's body change. You get old, you ain't got the job to sweat. Some of y'all just take the covers off, start sweating. That's body change. I'm talking about the temperature. It's climate change. Now, the question is, are the senators and the congressmen going to do something about it? Why y'all run around arguing about whether or not Trump got tapes? It's real simple. All they got to do is Monday subpoena the tapes to the U.S. Senate committee. Subpoena. If they say we are exercising executive privilege where we don't have to turn over nothing, then that confirms they got tapes to turn over. If there were no tapes to turn over, they would say there are no tapes, we don't need executive privilege. You can't have privilege on something that don't exist. See, I keep telling you, y'all went to all these schools, can't figure out nothing, y'all need to come ask me, that's real simple. Y'all sit over having meetings, just call me, I'll tell you on the phone. Subpoena it, you cannot get privilege on something that don't exist. And if you act like you're holding back some on executive privilege that don't exist, that's obstructing justice. We cannot let them get an inch playing with all of this. Why? Because it is too important to us. You have two things that you must always keep in mind. That is those that paved the way for you and those that are going to be behind you. What I mean by that? Reverend Jackson called me early this morning. Both of us lost our mothers now. He said, well, Mother's Day's coming, I can't call my mama, you can't call yours, we talk to each other. I said, yes, sir. He said, one of the things that I hope is that both of us at the end of the journey made our mothers proud. Amen. You should always live that those that paved the way for you are proud of you. And you should always live for those coming behind you, your children, grandchildren, are not shamed that they are your child or your grandchild. The worst thing in the world, I don't care how many awards you get, pats on the backs, anniversaries, reverend listening, I don't care what you get. If something that comes from you are shame to you, it will cancel all the other stuff you got. And something that brought you here is shame to you. it don't mean nothing. Rather than give your mama flowers and candy and all of that, which you should do, give her a life that makes her proud of the sacrifices that she made for you. If you can't do nothing else, make her feel it was worthwhile. Every sacrifice she made, every extra effort she had to make. Because I don't care what you've done, you didn't live the life your mama had to live. My mother was born and raised in Dothan, Alabama. Raised my sister and I by herself after my father left. But that didn't start her misery. She was raised in the deep south, where she had to ride the back of the bus till she came north, where she couldn't go to school, had to pick cotton, couldn't use a public toilet in her hometown, couldn't drink from a water fountain, couldn't vote in her hometown till she was 39 years old. But somehow, with no education, with no social graces, she raised me to where I ran for the President of the United States. There's nothing more ingenious than the regality of our black mother. You running around looking for heroes, look in your own life. Think of people that took nothing and made something out of you. My mother used to make me do homework at night that she didn't even understand. When Daddy left, they cut the lights on, we couldn't pay the light bill. She'd light a candle, never talked about my father. I never heard my mother talk negative about my father. I always talk about he ain't nothing. No, don't talk about your father. Never heard her say a negative word. Because she didn't want to plant that in me. Because if you plant in you that your daddy ain't nothing, then you are really subconsciously saying, therefore I'm not expected to be nothing. I grew up in Washington Temple. She let me roll with Bishop Washington, then brought me Reverend Jones, Reverend Jackson. She knew if I saw great men, I would seek to be like them. That's why I go to that point about getting out the boat. If you let your kids grow up around nothing, they will feel that nothing is all they can achieve. A good mother will nurture her child to give them the life they didn't have. That's why I watch a lot of young mothers that try to outshine their kids. Good mama pushes the child rather than push them. One of the most revealing things in the world is they got social media, and you follow these folk on Instagram, it's all them, never pushing their child. They proud of their child, all about them. On Mother's Day, yes, take them to dinner. Get them gifts. But think about the solemn part of what they have done for you, even if they made mistakes. And don't ever forget that your mother and father, whoever they are, was a decision that God made to use as the avenue to bring you in the world. When God decided for you to be a living creature, because everybody born was a decision God made. Because you didn't have to get here. Folk have sex every day, don't never get pregnant. And other folk get sex one time, have a baby. That's a decision God made. You talk all that talking you want about the rhythm thing and the time of month. God said you have baby, you have baby. Rhythm or no rhythm. looking at the calendar. You better look at that belly. Right time of month. Ain't no right time. So if you are a decision that God made, then he also decided who he would bring you into the world through. Every mother is an avenue that God decided to have you travel through. Therefore, it must be a reason that he chose who he chose to prepare you for your purpose, because that mother matched your purpose in life. Now, if you can't figure it out, it's because you got lost. Not because it's not there. It is all there in your life path. That's why when I discovered my purpose of a ministry of fighting for the oppressed and the unheard and the unseen, I can go back to my mother. When I see a Gwen Carr who had to bury her son choked by policemen in Staten Island, I could see my mother. When I saw Sabrina Fulton, Trayvon Martin's mother, shot down. That's right. With iced tea and Skittles, walking home, I saw my mother. The sensitivity of my mother to take care of us when she had nothing made me sensitive to other mothers. So God gave me that kind of mother to alert me to the sensitivity of responding when a mother calls. And the reason I know that you're blessed when you respond to the call of a mother is because God will bless you if you honor your mother and father. That your days will be long on the land God gave you. I will always remember, despite all the presidents and all of the big moguls that I've met, the most important person in my life was the one that gave me life, and the one that protected my life, and the one that loved me when I was wrong as much as when I was right. Tell you, every year, baby born, everybody love newborn baby. Everybody want to hold and cuddle the baby. Everybody kissing the baby, slobbering all over the baby. But the baby is not trained yet to go to the bathroom. So when the baby craps on himself, the only one want the baby in is his mama. The one you ought to love in life is the one that will take your mess when it's stinking and wipe you up and clean you off and powder you off. You ain't gonna meet nobody like that but your mother. I don't need somebody to tell me how much I smell. I need somebody to clean me up and love me anyhow and powder me off and tell me, go on, you can make it anyhow. Black mothers had to put us on their back even when it hurt them and bring us through. Mother's Day is another kind of day for us, because mamas had to be mama and daddy, had to be sister and brother, had to build us up when we was torn down. That's why Jesus, in his dying moments on the cross, said, behold our mother. Mother, behold our son. Look at the son you made. Look at what God has done. The whole world may be against you, but if God and your mama's for you, you can rise never to fall again. That's why I want them to rename my community. That's why I won't stop fighting. There is a God that'll hold us up if we stand up, if we have the faith. Mama taught me that if I call him, he would answer prayer. She taught me that he may not be there when you want him, but he's always on time. Trump can't take my joy, because my mama taught me how to smile through my pain. And God will make a way. Yes, he will. Everybody sing. Everybody sing. Everybody sing. Everybody sing. Sing like you mean it. There may be somebody today comes to the rallies, listen to the broadcast, see some of our work on television, but never have joined the National Action Network. We have active committees, we have